Yo, yo.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi Reality. And you know why I kept on playing that part? It reminds me someone saying that we should remove it. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, yes, especially that part.
Oh, it's
that part with the lady.
It's a very expensive intro. We will need to start afresh and get new money to get a new one. But that being said, I think we are here, and this is an unexpected video because these are not things that you'll be probably hearing in most places. Yes, some of them, they are on the news, but what is what? Who is who in the zoo? Our main interest is someone who's representing Thabo Bester. Who is that person? If you do not know and you don't know how that person actually relate as a lawyer to Baxter, sit with us and please dissect it with us. This is a public opinion, and everything said here
Is
it is
alleged.
I don't know how you want to take it, but I'm saying it again. It is alleged. This is Mzansi Reality. Allegedly. Everything is alleged.
Everything is alleged. Even our name is alleged, especially for this video, because we have to talk about this. I know it's a big elephant in the room. It has been bothering me.
Right.
And I need for us to talk about it.
Here we go then. We are starting to describe and break down the lawyer. We're not going to be breaking all of them. The special ones. There's one that is special.
One in particular.
And this is the one that we are going to look at. For those who do not know me, I'm Mr. Anonymous, and I see that many of you have been itching to see me. You will see me. But for now, I think what is important is that we protect this face. Emily, hit the ground.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for this groundbreaking story. Okay, Thabo Bester's lawyer has a pending fraud case. Did you guys know that? Did you know that? I didn't either until I found out. Advocate Jeremiah Pila and his co-accused Takalani Mangalo. Now, this is the person that he was allegedly an accomplice. His accomplice. And this person, Mangalo, was an employee at the Free State Department of Roads and Transport. Now, they were facing a corruption trial in Bloemfontein Regional Court in 2017. They were at the center of a corruption case involving security tender bribery at the Muteo Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET College in Bloemfontein.
Okay.
They appeared at the Bloemfontein Regional Court in December 11th and 12th in 2017 after the finalization of the investigation into the corruption saga, which began when they were arrested in May 2017. So the pair was granted a bail of 10,000 rands in May in 2017 in Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. They were facing fraud charges. They were arrested by members of the Anti-Corruption Unit and Crime Intelligence reportedly after cash had been exchanged. The suspects had reportedly finalized arrangements with the chief executive officer to meet at a lodge where they were arrested. Now, Captain Sfiso Nyakani, provisional spokesperson of the Hawks in Bloemfontein, said the two accused allegedly demanded 1.2 million rands from a chief executive officer of the security company. He said, according to a finding of the investigation, the amount in question was a protection fee to guarantee that the security company's contract with Muteo College was not cancelled, allegedly. And according to Nyakani, an entrapment was conducted after they made arrangements with the chief executive officer to meet at a lodge in Bloemfontein. The officers pounced and subsequently nabbed them after cash was exchanged. So basically, Advocate Bila was fingered in a security tender bribery saga, allegedly.
Right. So now we are in a case that is kind of looking like that, right?
Like a fraudy.
Like a fraudish
Like a
case.
scamish. Remember
Like a scamish case.
Thabo Bester was allegedly scamming from inside the prison.
Yes. That's what we are looking at.
It's more of his...
So this is something that is, if this anything that is said here is true, is something that sits close to this lawyer. We are trying to look at him as to what is it that this man brings in terms of experience. Well,
Now-
there is no other experience than first-hand experience,
Now, that's not all.
allegedly.
That's not all. After much digging, another thing is that he has handled a high-profile case before involving a criminal syndicate referred to as a cross-provincial traffic syndicate in 2020. He represented some employees of Lingau Traffic and Testing Center in Bloemfontein and two private centers in Lephalale in Limpopo, Port Elizabeth, and King Williamstown. They were accused of corruption in cross-provincial traffic syndicate. Now, the 18 suspects were alleged to have issued fraudulent police clearance and roadworthy certificates to non-existing vehicles, charging their clients between 600 to 1,200 rands. The evidence against them was gathered in an undercover operation by the Hawks. Again, the National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA, and the Free State Police Roads and Transport Department between October 2019 and July 2020. It is alleged the group was a syndicate that operated mainly from Bloemfontein and then spread out to Limpopo, Gauteng, and the Eastern Cape, respectively. So 14 of the 18 suspects were out on bail. Advocate Bila managed to fight for his clients at the time. They all got bail, including the remaining four that had to remain behind bars. But the reason why they remained behind bars was because they were waiting for approval of their residential addresses.
Now, we are talking experience here. This is a huge number of people that was represented by one lawyer.
It was actually two of them.
Two lawyers.
Yes.
And they successfully dealt with the situation.
In fact, they were even arguing because one of the conditions that were given to these suspects was that they should not make an appearance at their workplaces. And then they were even arguing for their clients that it's not fair that they should not be making appearances at their workplaces.
So they wanted more, not to release these people, but to reinstate these people.
Yes.
Which is very big, and you must be bold to take such decisions. So this is someone who, to me, if that is an experience that this man comes with, other things that obviously we have not looked at, other cases that he has dealt with, but these are big cases that we have to think of, and the manner in which he's dealing with the situation, that is sort of clouding the representation of Baxter right now. You are seeing that he's not directly dealing with the media. And there was a time, Emily, that you're still going to talk about.
Yes.
Of withdrawal. And that is very strategic for me. But continue.
So these people were said to appear at court on the 19th of January 2021. I couldn't find the follow-up of the case of what happened afterwards. So the most interesting thing about this case as well is that the people who are allegedly involved in this corruption or traffic syndicate and the co-accused in his case of 2017, Mungalo was actually working for the Bloemfontein Traffic Department. So there's a link there.
Yes.
There's a link that the person that he was arrested in 2017 with worked for the Bloemfontein Traffic Department.
Yes.
And now the people that he was representing, 18 of them, were implicated allegedly in corruption in the traffic department. And it started in Bloemfontein.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
We're drawing the line.
So Advocate Twenyani Jeremiah Pila has had an ongoing trial following being charged for fraud and corruption back in 2017 involving security tender bribery at the Muteo TVET College in Bloemfontein. He has actually dropped to representing Thabo Bester at the beginning of May this year.
Yes.
After Thabo Bester was arrested in Tanzania or rearrested in Tanzania, the first legal representation that he had was Advocate Bela. Now, this was allegedly because Thabo Bester had failed to settle his legal costs, and then he dropped Thabo Bester.
So the question is, did this man fail to really pay, or was it a strategic move? We are leaving it to you, because there is something that is going to be submitted. And in that submission, we are going to look at other things that might actually link to such, to say that, was it a drop-off for finances reason? Because we are told that this man is loaded. But that is something that obviously that is alleged. But you'll hear from the people who are alleging this thing. Here, it's all allegation.
We are alleging here. We are working with the information that we are getting.
Yes.
Which is alleged.
Which is public information, by the way.
Which
Nothing
is public
special.
No, we are not private investigators or anything. It's just in the public domain.
Yes.
So a week before his second court appearance that took place on the 16th of May 2023 at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, that's Thabo Bester, Bester was therefore required to get new legal representative ahead of his bail application date. Then Ishmael attorneys came in and represented Thabo Bester. As to whether they got paid or not is unknown to us. Remember Ishmael attorneys?
Yes.
That guy who was really being called by Thabo Bester,
Yes.
making him look like he didn't know what he was doing. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then calling him every 5 seconds to whisper to him, and then coming. You could tell that the guy was uncomfortable, but hey, job is job. I mean, he's a lawyer. He's representing his client. He has to take instructions from his client, and that's exactly what he was doing.
Yes.
But it was really weird how Thabo Bester was in charge of that situation there.
Where he wanted to even speak.
Yes, he wanted to address the court himself. Remember that, guys.
So here we are seeing a very, like a chess move, you know, checkmate type of thing. Why I'm saying this is it was bound to happen that they were going to drop those people. Baxter was going to drop those people because he didn't look happy. But the manner in which he did it, you would sort of agree with him to say, if you are going to have to educate the person all the time where you need to educate the person, then that person perhaps is not fit for that job in a sense. But was that the case? Maybe these people were just a decoy in the whole process of waiting for the right one, the initial representative who eventually came back. And what right way of putting it to your honor, it was due to payments that we are dropping this whole thing.
Yep.
And obviously the court is always going to protect their lawyers when it comes to finances. They always, at some point, they go to an extent of asking if your client has paid and all those things. This is something that is very important. So if you play around finances, you are probably playing a safe card.
At the beginning of the month, which is the month of May, Bila had told the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court to have withdrawn from Bester's case due to his fraud and corruption trial, which the details were coming to light. Now, News 24 is actually the one who brought these details to light, because I remember a lot of journalists were tweeting about it. Now, all of a sudden, the tweets are gone. Some of them.
Yeah.
But yes, they were tweeting about it. It was a big deal at the beginning of the month. However, now it has kind of been suppressed. It's kind of like
we
not a
cannot
big deal
say
anymore.
it is being suppressed. I mean, in this case, we are referring to the tweeters that
The
are
deleted tweets.
I would say maybe it was a mistake that they were put there. To be safe, I would say that someone decided to rectify whatever that they needed to rectify,
Okay.
just to be safe.
Just
Because
to
if
be
you
safe.
say it is suppressing, what is it that is being suppressed? But it leaves a question mark in a sense to say, if everything was correct, grammar was correct, and you were correct about your information, why do you feel the need to remove your tweeters? It's a question that we should leave here. It is not for us to judge, to say this is the case. We will leave it with you because we are bringing you the case and we're bringing you the nitty-gritties of this case. What do you think?
So Pila told News 24 at the beginning of the month that he had withdrawn from the case. This was moments after he was asked about whether the tender fraud and corruption trial he's facing. This was all reported by News 24. They began to ask questions because allegedly he was set to appear in court for the very same case of fraud that is from 2017. He's set to appear in June of this year, 2023, allegedly. So they were asking him about that. And I'm sure for those who watched the interview with Griselda, they've seen that the same question was also asked to the other representative of Thabo Bester, who's working hand in hand with Advocate Bela. That is Ndo, Mr. Ndo, if I'm not mistaken. So no new. Also, another interesting piece of information.
Yes.
That we got thanks to ENCA. So new information has emerged from Patricia Kotani, the chairperson of Action SA Free State.
Yes.
Can you please play that clip for us, Mr. Anonymous? Because
the other thing that I've just written to the FICA, because we do understand Thabo Bester had about 817 million into his bank account. I'm not going to mention the bank, but I've also written to the commissioner of FICA to tell me how did he manage to have such a money into his banking account. So it's like you said, this matter, this is just a drop in an ocean now. More investigation needs to come on. But at the end of the day, this morning I've spoken to Katlego's mother. She's in hospital. You can understand how everybody is so emotional. What we want justice. Who killed Katlego Bereng? That is all that we want.
Now, did you guys hear that?
No, I'm sure they did.
817 million in his bank account, allegedly. Now, of course, she didn't want to mention the name of the bank. Probably has to do with legal reasons. That's almost $1 billion, Mr. Anonymous.
It is.
While he was inside the prison.
We are talking about a millionaire here, aspiring to be a billionaire. Given more time in prison, perhaps we could have seen a billionaire in prison.
That is a lot of money.
Now, that goes back to that question of saying that, was it now the issue of money if these allegations are anything to go by? Let's say maybe not close to 800 million. Let's say maybe 12 million. Even though with 12 million, you'd still be able to afford these lawyers like nobody else. The question is, was it finances or we were just playing games? Let's make this court wait a bit while something is subsiding, something is fading away. And in this case, there was a bit of a noise about this character of a lawyer initially when he appeared to represent
first time.
And then eventually there was that issue of a new representative, and then later on resurface the same lawyer. So those are the things that you need to ask yourself. And another question that would be very interesting is, this is someone of interest that we are looking at, someone who's very prominent, someone who has been taunted as a fraudster at some point by some people. The question is, why is the account still active if it's active? Indeed, because such things then are creating that loophole of saying that, okay, maybe this person is allowed more freedom than any other person. Remember, we're talking about someone who's already in jail for certain other cases that pertain the R Wade and other stuff. Now we are looking for this person for other cases that might pertain finances and whatnot. Why is this person still having that access to the account? Why are we not being told this account has been frozen? Yes, it's different ways for different people. For me, it probably, if it was me, it was probably going to be frozen, because probably now I'll be using what we call it, these lawyers, legal aid. But, well, let's continue.
And you know what the most interesting thing is the fact that he has stayed in prison, had this account, and it was never flagged. It was never... You know what is happening with the Jollof sisters?
Yeah.
Or sisters-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you date this Yahoo boy and they start depositing money into your account,
Yeah.
it gets flagged.
Yeah.
And it even goes as far as being closed.
Yeah.
You have to write, you have to go with a lawyer and get presentation to advise you on what to do to get your account back, your bank account back.
Maybe then
And you have to explain what that money is doing there in the first place.
But we cannot downplay the level of thinking when it comes to this man. This is the same man who ran a company while he was inside jail, and such prominent people were singing in his company for his birthday as someone who was in United States. So perhaps there was always a trigger in case these things happen. Law is always open to be used and perhaps maybe being abused, as long as it is lawful and it is right. Maybe there was that.
Maybe he knew the loopholes.
Yeah, maybe there was that in case of, don't put this money under me, put it under my lawyer stuff kind of situation.
Or put it under a business.
Or under a business or anything. You never know.
Okay, guys, moving on. The lawyer of Thabo Bester has revealed also that Thabo Bester is receiving unwelcome visits from prison, where he's being kept at the moment.
Yeah.
After he escaped from Mangaung Correctional Center, he has not taken back there. That is Mangaung Correctional Center. He hasn't gone there. He's currently being kept at a different facility, which is Kgoshi Mampuru in Pretoria.
Yeah.
So his lawyer said at the moment his client is receiving unwelcome visits in prison. It is not clear who those people are who are visiting him and what they want.
Yes.
There's even a clip where Griselda was grilling him, honey, about this.
Yes. And
Bester is somewhat unsettled by some visits that he is receiving at the Kgoshi Mampuru prison. Can you confirm if this is correct? And who are these people that are making your client uncomfortable?
The only thing that the client had raised is that he is not comfortable with visits just happening. What he would rather prefer is that anyone who would want to visit him must actually engage with us first. And then we raise that with him to say, so and so would want to give you a visit. Are you comfortable with it or not? And then we take it from that angle. But I would like to believe that maybe he just wants his own space. People coming in and out sometimes, they might make you a little bit uncomfortable considering the nature of the matter that we are dealing with and the sensitivity thereof. So that is the only issue that I might confirm insofar as the visits are concerned.
Who are these people? Who are these visitors that are making your client uncomfortable?
I did not ask as to who are the people.
Friends, family, politicians, are you able to share anything with us?
No. I did not ask. I may lie if I say I asked as to who are these people.
Now, you listen to that. One might argue that this sounds like a message being sent in encrypted ways to say, whoever is visiting, stop visiting. This is not something that you, as a lawyer, you would not know. I would like to believe otherwise. This is something that, as a lawyer, you would know. But disclosing it, maybe you are told, this is a card on a sleeve that you should keep as closed. We will open it in due course when there is a need for that. So in this case, this is just a warning to say, stop pushing. I don't know. This sounds to me like an encrypted message to say, stop. We are bringing the media now. What a nice way of talking. Anyone who wants to talk, use a public media, and the message goes straight to the rightful person.
And also the people who want to visit must now speak to the lawyers. Must go through them first before going and visiting Thabo Bester.
Look, I don't think Thabo Bester has a lot of visitors in a sense. I do not. I would like to not believe like that. Right now, Thabo Bester is a hot mess. To visit the man who's in jail and you're a prominent big person, it would only mean that you have secret interest that brings you together with this man. But it's like, I know that you are coming here, you want 1, 2, 3, stop. Or there's something that you need to do before you continue visiting me. What's the need of Bester showing this in public? I mean, there were visits that we are told about, and there were pleasant visits, such as we are told that allegedly Nandipa and Bo Sims Ngema, they visited. It was never an issue with this. There was never an issue. There was no media involved. But now there's media involved.
Yeah.
This is to also sort of create a scary situation to say that this man is not safe. You know, because there is no name. To me, it looks allegedly like that someone is saying, we are going to push the story of innocence of this man in this manner by saying that there are people that are pushing to actually get closer to Bester, and Bester does not like these people. So if we do that in public, then we are creating such expectations that there are people who are really interested or who have interest, secret interest in Baxter's case. And those people are pushing. So whatever we want must be given to us. That's one way of also looking at it.
So the issue at hand now is, who's funding Thabo Bester in his legal battle?
You've just read to me that allegedly this man has
817 million.
Perhaps the good question is, how did he acquire such money in jail?
That is the question.
Whose funding is as good as a person who funded him previously? If there is anything. If there is someone who funded him. This is allegedly. We're obviously looking at the situation. And we are talking about someone who's in jail for years. Well, for years, in an inverted commas, according to what we are told now. Because most of the time we are told he was out. So there is money-making machine. There's a bigger picture that we need to look at.
Now, if the previous lawyer...
And the question still remains, how did he get to create a bank account without any information? That's what we need to know. And the banks always flags these things. Which bank is this one that is not flagging?
That had 817 million in a specific account and they just looked the other way. Which bank is that? Oh! So now if the previous lawyers withdrew because there was no money, what then makes the new legal team confident that they will be paid for their services by Thabo Bester? This current one who has dropped him before and now has come back. How is he confident now that Thabo Bester will pay?
We will never know. Those are the questions that will leave lingering around your head, perhaps give you a headache a bit, because you need a bit of headache to live your day and continue know that you're still living. So for now, there is nothing that we can say it's solid. All that we are saying is based on assumption and allegedly.
Everything is alleged.
We are creating our own scenario here. We don't know. Emily, is there anything that you still want to say?
Okay, closing up, the lawyer of Thabo Bester, Chirilo Zondo, has however refused to divulge the source of Thabo Bester's funding. He said it is not his place to tell or to question. All they're doing is simply to represent their client and get paid. Now, during an interview with Griselda Lewis of the SABC that we just watched, the lawyer was also questioned about whether or not Thabo Bester was threatening Dr. Nandipha Makudumana. This comes after a childhood friend, Mr. Anonymous, during the weekend. There's a childhood friend who made an all-exclusive interview with ENCA, I think. Yes, ENCA. And this friend comes after the childhood friend of Dr. Nandipha revealing that she was threatened, and that explains why she did what she did. Now,
so what is very interesting to me is the question directed to the lawyer. Why isn't Griselda taking the team of SABC and drive to this psychologist friend who's able to detect that people are actually reacting to certain things? Because this is a psychologist that is required, is a psychologist of interest. There is no need to hide their face if they can speak such information. So we need to see them, because
they had their faces
without being seen,
covered.
Without
They
being
didn't show
seen,
their face.
it's like a media driving the story that we seemingly do not wish to right now to hear in a situation where someone eventually lost their lives. I don't know how. We all don't know how they collapsed. Right now, the most important driving issue about this story is that person. If this was a woman, the attention was going to be different. So let us focus on that, not lose focus. Now try to play victims here. We know that we are now overusing this situation of gender GBV. It should now not be the case. The time. This is not the time. I mean, the media has been pushing the story of this. I find this question very offensive.
They stopped, and now it's back again. It's back again. Now
we are not going to buy it. No normal sane person is going to buy the story.
Well,
if you are told that someone was being GBV'd, they were enjoying the money, living large. Come on,
this
guys.
friend even took it as far as to say that Thabo Bester had put his hands on the children as well. So were they there? That's what I want to know. And
seems as if this person was sleeping in the same house.
That this person is out and should be in the prison. You knew, and you kept quiet.
That psychologist must be thrown in jail also for aiding, aiding escape, because he was quiet, or what?
You watched all of this.
You didn't disclose.
And they even disclosed that Dr. Nandipha was followed by henchmen that Thabo Bester
And
hired.
you were around that time
You
when
saw
he was
all
followed.
of that. That is a problem right there. You saw all of these things and you did not do anything about it.
And today you feel the need to become a hero.
And he also said, I don't know whether it's a he or a she, but Dr. Nandipha's childhood friend said that this guy, meaning Thabo Bester, had some power over her. She's not a bad person. She just caught up in a bad situation with someone who led her astray. Now, there is a lot that is happening. Even on social media, people are not buying this, okay? A lot of the comments were saying, hell to the no. This person also needs to be arrested, whoever they are, because they were witnessing all of these criminal
After
acts happening.
Mushendiki WhatsApp group, can't we get these social media bullies? How
we
can we
forgotten
believe
that?
that? We don't forget.
So it seems like Dr. Nandipha might want to play victim in her defense. And all indications are pointing in that direction.
And
so
we are going
need
to
look
call
out
it
for
out.
that.
Because someone lost a son. We
Children,
haven't
two
got the
kids
answers.
have lost a father.
2 kids.
Who cared deeply for
Those
them?
kids are not important more than Nandipha Magutumana's kids. They are all equal. Whether the man was educated or not, whether the man was ugly or not, handsome or whatever, it doesn't matter. All we need is the truth as the public opinion. Obviously, we hit like that.
Oh, yes. And that's a wrap, guys. Tell us what you think about these developments.
We want to see that friend. Nothing is going to happen to her, obviously.
We need to see that
She
friend.
can be protected if there's a need. I mean, we have
You
seen
were witnessing all
we
of this
have
and you were
seen
quiet.
a lot of divas these days when it comes to laws and all those things. We have seen them being protected. It's okay. They can be protected. We're not going to buy it though. No. We're not farming here.
Nope. Guys, if you like this type of content, please don't forget to let us know by pressing that like button. Okay. And also leave your comment. I want to know what you think about these developments of this story. Let us know in the comment section what you think. And until the next one, bye.
It's a bye from us.